right here. Here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish. Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome on in. You didn't get notifications. What's going on there with the notifications? Doesn't matter. We're here now. So calm down. Calm the farm. Terry, what's going on? Dana's here. Rage is first. I'll let him have that one. Where are we up to, guys and girls? Well, we've got our acoustic neck pocket, our mortise and tenon joint cut. We are now going to refine the fit and get that neck in. Spot on a mundi, as they say. Willie won't go. What is happening? Hi to you. Are you well? I hope everyone's having a good end of the week, start of the week. It's Monday here. It's probably Sunday somewhere in the world. It's probably Tuesday in New Zealand. No, not quite. They're only 3 hours ahead of us, and we're ahead of everyone else. So New Zealand's way out there into the future, and so it begins. The resub, Willie, thank you very much. 28 months. What's going on? Kerry. Who's Kerry? Terry. Ha. Kisa and Kerry. The new dynamic duo. I deserve that. Right. Here we have a neck. Here we have a tenon joint. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit. That's what we're going to work on now and getting that fit perfectly before we get onto the fretboard. Slotting that, gluing that down. That's what we're going to do today. We want to get this to the point where we can carve this in the next couple of days. So we'll see how we go. It could be Kana. It could be Kana, Kerry, and Kisa. We don't want an acronym with 3 Ks in it. That's not going to go down too well with some people. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got here. I'll flick over to, yikes, exactly. So here's our body. Fix the camera, Manny, you goofball. Doofus. Oh my goodness, what a doof. Let me sort this out. Hang on. Let me sort it out. Lisa will be nervous if I don't get this right. Terry will be having kittens. There we go. That's frozen, so that's okay. I'll just fix that up. Bench and deactivate and there it is. So you can see that nice little joint up here, and this is the area we're going to concentrate on today, right? So I've got this guy wedged in there nicely. This neck, as you can see, fits in there like so. Oh, it's frozen again. Let me fix that up. Sometimes this camera is giving me the irrits. There we go. Still frozen. What's going on there? Hang on a sec. Let me get this right. Special K's. Sounds like a bad wrapper or an even worse cereal. Like breakfast cereal. Special K's. Okay, we're back. Right, so we've got our pocket here. We've got our neck here. It's not quite down all the way, but that's by design because that's what happens until we clean that pocket out. We can wedge that in there. It's sticking up by about 1/8 of an inch. That's okay, because as we refine that, it'll drop lower to where it needs to be. The important thing here is finalizing and looking at what this looks like from all angles. So what we do is firstly pop it in. So, and you can see it's sitting there quite nicely on its own. It's for backup dancers, the special Ks, for special Elvis. Hilarious. My goodness. Let's get the straight edge down here and let's work this out and see how far out we are. We're probably not too far out. That's the straight edge there. It's meeting that guy there. And you can see it's just a little bit, oh, its camera's gone again. Sorry guys, give me a sec. Let me fix this up. Let me sort that out. Okay. There you can see it's a little bit out. What that needs to do is that needs to come in to there. Okay, so that's just a pocket adjustment. Okay, that's pretty straight right there. So that's what we want. But that's good that it moves that way because we can now cut and align that pocket to fit it in nice and square. There's a reason why it's popping like that. What else we need to validate is this. If I grab this camera and hopefully it doesn't freeze, I'm going to give you vertigo, Terry, so forgive me. Close your eyes, shut your eyes and let it happen. There you go, it's frozen as... Okay, so if we look at the joint down here, it's pretty close. There's a little gap there, and that's going to close as that guy drops down into there. That should then close. Also, we need to clean up a little bit in there to get it in closer. Check that angle. It is at the right angle. We've got to check that as well. The other side looks like so. If I can get that across there to show you the other side. Okay. So that doesn't, it's almost there, almost there. So we've got a little bit of work to do. Not too much, we hope. No one wants to do too much work. Just ask Terry. Okay, so we've got to work on that. First things first is we need to align. So that's got to come out that way more. That's about right. Double check that. Always check the straight edges. And the linearity. The linearity, is that a word, Terry? Linearity. It's got to get out a little bit, like so. There we go. There. So that's pretty straight. That's pretty straight. Special K, that's the one. Oh my goodness, there's another command. Okay. Got to keep my eyes on the prize, as they say. So that's pretty straight. So we've got enough room to wiggle and wobble that into position. What I need to check also is the height of this thing compared to the bridge. Now remember, there's no fretboard, but let's put a fretboard on there, even though we haven't. That's where it crosses over the 14th fret. So that's where it's going to sit. You can just see that curve, just taking the top of the circle, kissing the top of the circle. By hook or by crook, absolutely. And we want to check the height. Now that's not glued down, that's not radiused, but let's have a rough look at the height of that guy. And it is higher than we expect by about 1/8 of an inch. But if I lay that down here, like so, these are all preliminary checks that we're doing to see how things are progressing. We grab the bridge, rosewood bridge, this little guy, and we position that under here, and we can see we're about 1/4 of an inch too high. Guess what? What does that mean? If that's 1/4 of an inch too high, and I can get this piece of wood under there, which is about 1/8 of an inch, it's only just a little bit under 1/4 of an inch actually. It means when we radius this fretboard, that should drop right down to the top of that bridge. So the angle is perfect. The angle is perfect. Just got to get the height. And remember, we've got to drop this by about 1/8 of an inch. So it's probably going to be really, 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 really close. A good low action, as they say. Do they say that, Terry? Really? Do they? A low action. What's the action on that? low. Just shut your eyes and let it happen. Is that the saying? Is there a command called shut eyes or exclamation shut? Just shut your eyes and let it happen is the saying. Yes. A little more enthusiasm, please. Okay. Changing the tone of my voice to be a little more enthusiastic. Right. So let's get to work. We need to have a look at the edges on this guy. They look okay at this point. We're not touching this end. We're going to work on this end. We need to get this guy a little bit chiseled out and a little bit looser in there. There's a bump right there I need to do. So we use our chisels. And we get a little sharp chisel. This guy. No. This guy. And we work away very, very small shaves. We're just taking away little pieces where we think it's catching. And when we do that and clear that out, we reset and refit. Hopefully we don't do too much to the pocket. What we want to do is get the pocket so that the neck drops into the right depth. And then all we need to do is pretty much align it and make sure that the sides are touching. Another fit. Oh, that's lower. Okay, that's getting there. Let's see where that's catching. Doing some very fine shaves. Let's check the depth of that pocket. See what we can do. It's 3 3/4 inches deep. This should be shallower. 3 1/4. Okay, so we've got about 1/2 to 1/3 of an inch, or 1/2 to 1/4 of an inch, I should say. Maybe. That's pretty good. Got to get that down a little bit lower. Now, the other reason that's keeping it is these are prominent. We need to cut away these guys here. So I need to measure, take away some of this binding on the outside. I'm not going to actually take it away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape that with a little tiny scraper. I'm going to use my little baby guy plane, finger plane, thumb plane, plain Jane, this guy. I'm just shaving that binding right up against the neck edge because it's protruding slightly. Just shave that down just a touch. Give it a little scrape with our scraper.